I'm involved in two, like the Business Immigrant Mentorship Program is one. The other one is Propel ICT, if you know about that. And the incubator, it does exactly the same thing. It's geared towards technology, and it's not specifically geared for immigrants, but there's nothing that will keep immigrants out. So there are certain things that are, the McCain Institute has launched something similar for entrepreneurs and mentoring. So there are a lot of initiatives, and I think if immigrants want to get the support of these, you have to reach out and tell people, I'm here, show me the ropes, teach me, help me. And you know, however much I liked India and Dubai, the one thing I find I love about St. John is people are willing to help. That is absolutely amazing. In India, nobody would help an absolute stranger. You would help your family, you would help your family friends, you would have your friends' children, your cousins, everybody. But an absolute stranger? No. It would be really difficult. Same thing in Dubai. It wouldn't happen. In St. John, almost everybody I know volunteers somewhere. They give off their time. Everybody's working. I know my friends and even people in my family back home, they're not working, but they don't volunteer. They don't give up themselves. Yes, they're busy with extended families and roles and responsibilities, but they don't give to community. That is what I love about St. John, is the civic engagement. People are willing to make a difference. People are willing to help. And I think every immigrant should be really grateful for that. But you need to reach out. And you need to show them that you're committed to being here. You need to show them that you're willing to put in the effort. There are no free rides. You have to put in the effort. And there will be lots of people who are willing to help. When we launched this program, I had so many people call on the day it was announced in the paper saying, I want to be a mentor. Can I be a mentor? It was absolutely fantastic. I have more mentors than I have mentees. That is simply amazing. It would not happen in many other places in the world. It started right away. I took up a job when I finished. I tried to find out more about it. But I remember asking my professor, okay, if I want to do this as a business, how do I do it? And she told me, write to the author of your textbook. So I wrote to the author, who was a consultant in Washington, D.C., but I never heard back from him. And then I dropped the idea. I got a job before I graduated and started working. It was when I was working at a company called Amber, and the CEO became, he's a very good friend of mine. And we used to have a lot of talks about what is it you really want to do. And I used to talk about this cross-cultural stuff, and he said, oh, I have an idea. He had gone through a cultural competency training program through a company in the UK, and he connected me to the person who had done that workshop. He used to work, so Ian is his name, the CEO at Amber. Ian used to work for a company in California, and they had a business partnership with a company in India. And he had been to Bangalore and had this training session with the Indians. So he put me in touch with this guy who had conducted this training program. This guy, his name was David. He's a British guy, but he lived in Finland. So when Ian put me in touch with David, we kind of got talking, and so it was quite funny because David was at that time going to Dubai to deal with problems for a client there. And I found it really nice because I was giving him information about how things worked in Dubai. I'd written a couple of papers on Dubai, and so I sent him that. And that's how, you know, it developed. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I'm here in St. John. I'm grown up in India, lived in Dubai, and I can still communicate with other people in the world and show them how things are done. And then I looked at their website, and I saw that this company in the UK called Richard Lewis Communications did not have a presence in North America. They have a lot of partners across Europe and Asia, but nobody in North America. So I called them up and I said, come on, why don't you have here? And I told Ian, you start this, I will manage it for you. And Ian said, no, that's not our core competency, but if you want to, go ahead, do it. And that's how it started. So I was invited by Richard Lewis Communications at one of their workshops. I had helped them, not expecting anything in return, but they offered me a partnership with them instead. So, if you can do things for other people, it doesn't mean you have to say, what am I going to get out of it right away? If you do, people very rarely take you for granted or take it and not give you back anything. And I was invited for a workshop and I attended it, and I'm their licensed partner for this part of the world. So that's where I started in 2007. Jerry Pond not only was my mentor, he's still my mentor. And I think having him as my mentor was the best thing that could have happened to me. He was not assigned to me as a mentor like the other university MBA graduates were. It just happened to meet him. He had come to the campus in the beginning of my MBA program, and he was speaking on leadership to the business students, the undergrads and the MBA students. And he had offered, at the end of his talk, he had said, if anybody needs a mentor, put your hands up. I was too embarrassed at that point to put my hand up because nobody else was putting their hand up. But later, after a few months, I was working on a project for Propel, and I got the chance to meet him again, and he said, have we met? And I said, yes, and I explained to him how we had met, and I said, I always regretted not putting my hand up. And he goes, I don't think there was an expiry date on that offer. So from that point on, he's been my mentor, and I owe him everything I have. And I have other friends who have helped me along the way, like Ian. I have other local friends, Diana and Stephen Alexander. I don't think I would have still been here if I did not have this support network. They mean a lot. And what it does when you have mentors and friends is they help you connect to other people. Like cross-cultural competence, the training I do, cross-cultural communications, it's a new field in this part of the world. So when I meet people and they ask, what do you do? And I tell them, I need to explain what is it I do. So I have to give that 4-minute elevator pitch every time. But I don't know anybody here. So who do I give my pitch to? So that's where my mentors and friends came in. They introduced me to other people who would say, oh, maybe you should talk to her. She has something interesting to say. So that opens the doors for you. But it only opens the doors. You have to recognize. After that, it's up to you to prove that you are good at what you do, that it's of value to them. And but opening the doors is the critical thing. You can keep knocking on doors, and otherwise you will never reach anybody. So mentorship is a huge, I think it's very important, and I think what UNB is doing, especially the MBA program with the mentorship thing, is absolutely fantastic. I don't know many other programs that are doing that.